Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Knoll, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I continue to pray each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And I greet you as always with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. Doug, hi Delaney, Miss Pearl. It's been a interesting couple of days. Um, since the last time I chatted with you. And I'm always talking about the nature of things and the universe and all that kind of good stuff. And well, here this last day or two, some questions that I asked to the universe, lo and behold, answers showed up and even more than that. So it's like, well, now that's just interesting. The computer's lagging a lot. So we'll see what we can do. Everything is working supposedly on my end. So, and there's nothing in the title that should upset anybody. But anyway, computer lagging already tonight. So, but I wanted to get on here and, because in 5 minutes it'll be 4:20 somewhere. And I thought it would be, interesting and cool to share one with y'all. Hey, David Castle. It's not my fault. I've had the computer off, and there's nothing on. I've even turned off anything in the house that might mess with the internet. But anyway, things. And here recently, a couple of videos ago, it's been within the last 2 weeks, and I've talked about it before. But how I used to be able to go down the road and find certain things that used to grow naturally around here. And one of those particular items that I was, and so, I've kind of cursed the universe, not that the universe had anything to do with it, it's what man did. But cursing the universe in that man was so stupid as to destroy all these trees and all this, what they didn't know. And so, I have silently wished that I had gotten some sassafras on my property before they tore it out of the ditches and so forth from around here. Anyway, so as I have talked about before, I walk up the driveway, which is a few hundred feet, from the house. And flowers blooming and so forth. So I'm looking at all, I look to the right on the way up the driveway, and I look to my right on the way down the driveway. Don't I look both ways, but it just seems to be that's what I've been doing here lately, because there's blueberries along the fence all the way up, and different flowers and things and trees and stuff, I'm looking at. And I noticed at the top of the driveway the other day, I have a real blueberry bush up there. I don't have any clue. It's been there for a couple of years, and I guess I've not noticed it. But it's almost like somebody planted this tree between two wild blueberry bushes. And the wild blueberry, I've been picking them and eating them on the way up the hill and on the way back down, finding. And so, it's springtime and things are blooming. So, where the blueberry, the honest to God, real blueberry bush came from, I don't know, but I'm grateful. But I just noticed it this spring, is my point to this. So on the way down the driveway today, now I've been down the driveway every day, right? Me and Duggar go for a walk, check the mail. I see today and I stop and just go, no way. There is a Actually, there's two of them. There's this little tiny one. I went back up there to see if I could find it, and it's about this big, about this tall, couple leaves on it. Sassafras. Sassafras tree. It's not very tall, maybe 2.5 foot tall, maybe, but absolutely it's sassafras. And I'm like, now I can understand where birds would poop and leave seeds and things and stuff, of different trees and things around. But sassafras is grown by the root, by the rhizomes, and it comes up. It'll grow along a fence line, and a tree will pop up, and it'll grow down, and a tree will pop up. So where the roots came from, for me to have sassafras beside the driveway or on the property at all, is a true miracle to me. The blueberry bush I can explain away. So I'm talking with my friend today that shows up, and they come and check on me every couple of weeks or so. And I'm like, hey, let's go on a walkabout. Let's go pick some mulberries. And she was like, wow, you really cleaned out from underneath that tree. Big pile of brush. That's what I did on Monday. And so we could get at the mulberries. And she goes, I smell I'm trying to think of the word, honeysuckle. And I was like, yeah, honeysuckle. So a couple of years ago, I was wishing that there was honeysuckle. It was more abundant on my property because it just smells so good, right? And that the only place I could find, this has been a couple of years ago, was or on the edge of me and my neighbor's property, which is okay. But now in walking around this spring, I'm finding honeysuckle in all kinds of places that it did not used to be before. I would have known. I would have went, there's honeysuckle over there, and there's some up here. I kind of know these things. So now there's honeysuckle blooming all over the place. I've noticed that how many more blueberry bushes I have on the hill. And Miss Delaney, I'm thinking about renaming my place Blueberry Hill in honor of Chuck. Wait a minute, not Chuck Berry. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill, on Blueberry Hill. But anyway, so asking the universe, wouldn't it be nice if I wouldn't have to go search for these herbs? Wouldn't it be nice if there are some things that I have, if I found them wild on the side of the road, I would dig them up and bring them home and plant them. And so it's like, wouldn't it be nice but I haven't been able to find any sassafras. Now all of a sudden I have it planted. It's there on its own. So for me, this like, oh, holy crap. I never expected, because of the type of tree that it is, to ever see anything, like that on my property unless I dug it up and planted it. And I wouldn't have planted it where it's at, which is also interesting, but different levels on the hill, different things live. And anyway, but I'm looking at the whole thing and I'm thinking to myself, goodness gracious, I didn't demand that I needed these things, but I have silently wished for these things, without trying to quote, and you know how I hate this word, to manifest anything. But in being kind and gentle to the earth and respectful, I'm looking at some of these things this spring as like, we've kind of heard your prayers. And here's a real blueberry bush. We scrounged around and found some, some root to a sassafras, and now you've got sassafras on your place. And I'm looking around, there's all these other different kinds of trees and bushes. And in the springtime, there are a lot of, new shoots and things. And so I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these plants and herbs and things that I recall from my days of, looking around for medicinal herbs. And my property was just one big giant clay hill. There was nothing on this property. So after 36, 7, 8 years of being here and having let the property go natural, a la natural mostly, Mother Nature has started to put things on the property that I never would have expected that would be here now. Now I could see where the vines of the uh, um, certain trumpet vines and things, but the the honeysuckle, it's oh, I missed 4:20. Well, okay, a minute late. So in my understanding of this, I have looked around and said, "Oh my goodness, the things that I had quote wished for that that was just available on my own place here are not quote not suddenly they're here, but suddenly I'm finding them here." Like, whoa. Now I know that some of this stuff couldn't have been here very long because I would have noticed it before. However, like the sassafras is real young. It looks, it's like not very tall, hadn't been there long. So, but the idea that these other the mulberry bush, the tree is full this year. There are blackberry patches that look really good, and we've got rain coming on Saturday. So, and we've had more rain this spring periodically to keep us in that not flooded stage, but the ground is it's good for the berries and the fruit trees and so forth. So I've noticed more pear trees this season. They're 2 or 3 years old, but now I've got places where I'm going to cut the oak trees down because I'd rather have the pear trees because they're pear trees, right? So without asking for any of these things, Mother Nature, Creator, the spirits, however you want to look at it, have I'm finding these things that did not exist, and some of these things haven't existed in my neighborhood for at least 20 years. I was thinking back on how long, when was the last time that I saw uh, sassafras growing wild along the fence line? I, since the introduction of Roundup, it's been 20, 25 years. So to find it on my property where I've never used Roundup is, to me, a very special, oh my God, look what the universe has blessed me with here on my property. Now, it's going to take a while for the sassafras to grow, but that's not the point. I can take care of it. And since I've seen it now, I will help to cultivate it. I will help it to grow. I will, take some of the little pieces of root if I can and transplant it. I will encourage it to grow. And they're not really big trees. They're more like a shrub, but that's not the point. It's what the roots are good for. The sarsaparilla, back in the day was from sassafras roots. It smells like root beer. So, but the idea that it was not here on my property ever, and now it is. There's some other types of um, medicinal plants, like there's one called plantain, and it's not a banana or anything like that, but there's some other ones that I've noticed that are coming up in my field this year. And I'm like, but where did I do not remember these medicinals growing in my yard before. Now, the plantain I have seen before, but I remember what this one looks like. I'm going to have to look it up. But anyway, the idea though that now I'm finding it in the fields, and now I'm finding it on the hill, and now I'm finding things that I didn't plant them, but Mother Nature did. And so for every time that I talk about the gifts, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the blessing from the universe, I look on my property and say, I have done these things to honor the property. I've allowed it to develop. I've done a little bit of trimming and stuff here and there because it just needed it. But as far as trying to make the land be what I wanted it to be, I allowed it to be what it is naturally. And naturally, now I'm finding all these things that are growing on the hill up there that just simply, not exist before. And where they come from, I'm not going to question it. I'm saying thankful being and wonderment to the universe, because for all the things I could have dreamed of and, wanted to plant here and things, they're popping up on their own after all these years. I find that just mysterious in a way because of, the type of plant that sassafras is. But the me through Dante and have heard of me or whatever through there. Some folks have a tendency to believe that I somehow have like this direct contact, or that I know something that other people don't, or that I'm being contacted in some way. And outwardly, the answer is no. I don't get emails or anything from anybody that I'm aware of. No, I'm not getting any emails. Let me just put it that way. I'm not getting any emails. People asking me questions about Dante or whatever. And so, for what my heart tells me and what my higher self, my guardian angels are telling me, the questions that I've answered to other people is that there is a true war going on. I mean, they are literally battling this out. And why haven't we heard from Dante in a while? And is he okay? So there are people that are truly concerned for his well-being, his health, etc. But for to those same people who think that I somehow have a secret knowledge, well, here's the thing that I scratch my head, and today is one of those days where I'm scratching my head and thinking to myself, um, some of the things that I have like seen in the dream walk, if you will, seems like I have seen some of these things. Maybe I'm doing a remote viewing, or maybe I don't know. I really don't understand. But so I asked the universe, quite simply, if they're really having a battle, it'd be nice, not that they're in battle, but it would be nice for an update, if you will, a physical update of some kind, something that says, because my dreams and stuff and feelings and visions and all that kind of good stuff, I'm like, man, there's some really heavy duty stuff going on here. So, and the other thing was on Dante's channel, they're always showing, spaceships from all the other folk, right? And I was like, one of these days, I'd really like to see one of the Charistus ship and what it really looks like. I just stuck it out there in the universe. So within the last day or two on the channel, The Cause from Dante and them, and with utmost respect and cheers, everybody. My continued support and prayers are always out there, but the first video I saw when I'm trying to do my catch-up work here and stuff is they're literally showing a battle where they're getting, they're receiving mortar rounds coming in. And, for those of us who understand a little bit about what Dante and them would talk about, and that, Putin is Danielle, and, the Russians are moving their troops closer to the border. Well, is it because that, it's the Vlash are in there in person, you know, uh, literally fighting. And so there's live stream video from a cell phone or something of these guys battling it out and them getting hit nearby with a mortar shell, or and so and then the next video right behind that one was a clip of a Carista ship as seen from sideways and above and below. So I'm thinking to myself, with all these other things that I have just quietly and asked the universe, without demanding, or, why do I want to see, where's my answer? Where is it? Because there are things that I have felt in my heart that I just, by accepting what, my position in the universe, I have to believe, 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 believe. And in that belief system is that I must understand that if I feel it in my heart, then I have to accept it, especially after these last few years and so forth and things like that. So the interesting thing about this is that, so the two questions that I asked recently within the last couple of weeks, for example, uh, I would say within the last 10 days, I get an answer in the form of two separate videos from Dante and the group and them. And I'm like, now, so which gives me satisfaction, humbleness, big time, in that I didn't expect to see a video. I'm glad that I did, because it confirms what I have been feeling and whatever my dream state has been showing me or something like that. And that's okay. So, but do I feel like I'm in, I don't know. I got chosen for some reason, when he redid my video that I did a couple of years back now. So, but I have often wondered if it's through my Mother Mary connection and through the understanding and my belief that I get these downloads for whatever reason to share with y'all, whatever, in that I in no way feel that I'm special. I'm humbled in that if those messages that I'm getting in here and from my heart are true, and up to this point, uh, the two short videos yesterday, the other day, I can't remember, but it's been recently, and I'm like, wow, my message was heard. Somebody was paying attention, and I didn't really expect an answer. I figured, one day I'll get to see what their spaceships look like, and one day I'll find out how bad the fighting really is. When in my heart I felt like they were they were really after it. And so all these things come true, along with a couple of other little things on the side that I was like, oh, holy crap. So I don't feel in that I'm special, but I do feel that I have reached a certain point of belief. And with that, and understanding and believing that these special things from the universe can occur, like having a blueberry bush, like finding a sassafras tree, like finding, honeysuckle all over the place now, where it just used to be located in one or two particular areas of the property. Now it's like over here, and it's over there, and it's up here, and it's down here. I mean, it's like honeysuckle. I love it. But I got to scratch my head and go, I would have observed this before. So is this the universe's way of saying, thanks, Dave? Thanks, Hawkeye, for your service, if you will. These are the blessings to me that are, I somebody could have waved a bunch of money at me, and I wouldn't have been near as proud as to see sassafras growing beside my driveway, uh, on here on the property. I'm just, over 20. I'm sorry, it's been almost 40 years now. To my knowledge, there was never ever any sassafras up there, because it was um, uh, farmland, really poor farmland. That's why they sold it. So, and the miracles of real blueberry bushes showing up, and all these and other plants and trees and things that have shown up. And so I just wanted to get on here for a minute and say that these things are going on. Now it looks like everything is frozen. So I'm going to end this stream and go get something to drink, and I'm going to start another one to see if somehow this video stream got weird. So I love you all, and I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, every time I put my feet on the ground, I'm in prayer. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you and your friends and your family, your relatives, all of your relations, friends and neighbors, and people you may come in contact with will learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And in that law of three, which always tickles me, as I continue to pray each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept, receive, and to share the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. As this short video, can you believe it? It's under 30 minutes. But I'm going to come back on in a few minutes, and I'm going to reboot and see if anybody's actually, it seems like things got stuck. It went jiggle, jiggle, and, I know one of you would have said something in the chat room, so I'm going to reboot, okay, and see what happens. But anyway, I love you all. Take care. Keep it between the ditches. And from South Georgia, as always, believe, 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 believe in the universe. So I just, well, all of a sudden, but anyway, I will talk to you soon. I'm going to go take a short break and come back on. Oh, wait, all of a sudden, things. Oh, yeah, all right, it got unstuck. Rogue Rebel, hey, how are you? For me, the chat got stuck. So I'll hang out. This is first 30 minutes. That's part of the great gift. Hey, Jazzy. Fats Domino, thank you. I knew when I said Chuck Berry, I knew that was wrong, David. Thank you. Oh, yeah, but I love Fats Domino. Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, Fats Domino. Yeah. Anyway, Coolio, hey, Elderberry. Cherry, let's see. All right. I'm missing some chat too. All right. So I'm going to end this stream and start another one. Take a 10-minute break, and I'll see you back here in a few. I love you all. Bye.